A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this channeling session, I would be actually recontinuing my previous channeling on stage 6 Twinflamers, for Twinflamers who are on the stage of illumination or radiance. So what exactly happens to them? What are the things they experience, or what are the changes they go through when they reach the stage 6 of the twin flame journey? So I would be sharing the energy as well as I would be sharing the guidance. For personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first, and once you're sure, then write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything about your twin flame journey before the reading, so that we can get the best and most accurate answers during the reading. In case of therapies, you have to share with me different facets of your life so that we can heal the wounded inner child, which then leads to a 5D union. You can also get my book, In the Name of Love, which has 5 channeled twin flame stories based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. Connect with me on Instagram at the Sunamoon Goddess, and you can also subscribe to the Sunamoon vlogs to get interesting content supporting Ascension lifestyle. Ascension is a lifestyle, yes. So, my friends, in stage 5, what happens is that the whole purpose of this stage is that the soul has to release the ego, the attachment with the identity. The masculine energy plays the role of releasing ego, and this happens after he mirrors the feminine who develops her self-worth. And how he finds out that she has developed self-worth, or how she finds out that he has released the ego, it is all energetic. A lot of people tell me that I do certain things in my physical reality and certain things I do energetically only. So that is a misconception. If you think that you are physically not stalking a person, or physically not sending them emails, or trying to pacify them, or talking to them, or finding out about their life, or purposely keeping in touch with those people who would give you information on their own, just in random conversations, or anything else like that, In ascension work also, a lot of people get confused as to thinking that what they are doing physically, if they have stopped it, then everything will work out. No, that's not how it works. In twin flame ascension journey, you have to change things energetically. When you change things energetically, automatically you will notice that the detachment process begins to get successful. And how you know that? You feel very peaceful, you feel very fearless, you have more courage, and you are very much integrated with the source. This is a very important part of the journey, and one of the big change that the feminine is going to notice is, because obviously she's not getting the masculine's physical triggers now, because they are in a separation phase. Now, I'm not going to get into type of separations. All of you know that. And those of you who take readings from me, or those of you who take therapies from me, even you know what I'm talking about. So, in simple ways, masculine has already given you the wounds which you are healing during the separation. But you will obviously be surrounded by other people who have masculine energy, or you will be surrounded by other people who give you those stimuli. Other people will also trigger you, and because this is the old habit pattern of the mind was to feel very less worthy, basically, to feel bad about yourself. Now also people will come and they will trouble you, or they will treat you badly. But because of the inner work that the feminine has done, and because she has surrendered to source, illumination happens only after you have fully surrendered. So she will not take anyone's ego problems that easily. She's not going to feel bad if she has to scold someone if needed, and she's not going to pacify anyone. And most importantly, she's going to do all of this because she doesn't feel any scared. She doesn't have any fears about being by herself. So why was she earlier pacifying the divine masculine? Because she thought that she cannot live without him. She cannot exist without him. She cannot do anything without him. If he's going to go away from her life, she will die, or she will be depressed, or she will be feeling like a horrible, she'll be feeling very bad overall. She would not be able to take it. It would be difficult. It would be suffocating. But in practical life, when she goes through all the separation and all the other things, and it's good that he humiliates her because that is really helpful. So when he humiliates her, she feels like, I'm not going to go after him anymore. I have some self-respect. So the first jolt, the first lightning bolt of self-respect comes into her when he treats her very badly. Okay? When he neglects her very badly. And then begins the process of other things like especially surrender, how to surrender. Surrender does not happen in one day. When the feminine starts to surrender, when she decides, I will not go back to him. I will do whatever it takes. I'm not going to be a coward. I'm not going to be a person who thinks, oh, I cannot survive without this or survive without that. I'm going to build my own empire. I'm going to build my own unconditional love. So that is the number one change that happens. And when she develops self-worth, because he is the mirror, okay, so automatically he will also go through certain situations where people are going to show to him that his ego is bullshit, that his ego has no weight, that his ego is just something they will trample. And it will happen many times. It will happen repeatedly in all areas and aspects, because ego doesn't just function in one place. Ego functions everywhere, all departments. So each and every department would get purification. Just the way for her, each and every department will, she'll become a total badass. But before that, she was a sissy. Before that, she was like a person, who would be very angry, would be like, I can do this, I can do that. But when she will do it, she will be like, oh, did I hurt someone in this process? Did I say something mean? I don't want to be mean, because she's been trained to become Miss Goody Two Shoes. Or even if she would show her courageous side, it would be to protect the wrong people. That's why she has to even get out of the narcissistic traps, all the narcissistic energies from anybody, not just one person, from anybody. Because she has been protecting the wrong people. She has been fighting for the wrong people. Now she will take up fights for the right people or the right beings. And that, most importantly, that is her mission work. So she has to become very fearless, and until and unless she doesn't become fearless, because after some time when the masculine returns to the feminine, then she has to ask him certain questions. She has to have a very straight talk with him. She has to tell him, or she has to question him. What made you go? Where were you all this while? What makes you think that you can come back and talk to me? How should I believe you? How should I trust you? What are you willing to do for this relationship? How important this relationship is for you? In some cases, she would have this talk verbally. In some cases, it will be conveyed by her body language and by her behavior, by her self-confidence, and by the way, like with the way she is conducting herself, with the way she keeps her time as very precious and important. It's not at all connected to ego. It's about respecting yourself. And obviously the masculine also does realize that he did make a mistake in understanding her, but he wasn't completely wrong also. So she also has that kind of sort of an understanding. They will have that understanding where she will understand that he also had ego problems, and he will also understand that she had triggers back then, or she must have gone through some bad experiences because of which she did not commit to him fully, or because of which she was in a testing mode. She was not fully committing or fully giving in, which is why all the confusion took place, which is why he thought that, I'll give you an example from the animal world. So there are certain dogs on the streets. they are very shy. They're very scared of coming close to the humans, So we humans then have to be very patient with them. We have to meet them every day. And we can't just meet them 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. We have to meet them literally every day till the time a day comes when they can actually release all the fear and come close to us. This is something similar that had to be done with feminine also. But the masculine misunderstood her. And even before, she could realize that I'm scared or I'm triggered, all of this happens. So in simple words, like if there are few puppies, okay, and few people have thrown stones at them or have hit them with sticks or, just shoot them away or just screamed at them or, like some people go crazy when they see even small little innocent beings, they start screaming and shouting. So the poor animal or the poor baby, the poor puppy is just a baby. Baby gets very scared. They cuddle up in a corner and they don't want to. Then next time, if a loving human being would come, they would keep running away. And this has happened with me so many times. There was a man, he was like trying to catch a puppy. He wanted to, put the puppy in some kind of a strange kind of a game that they do. It's like a fight. They put the dogs in fights and then they bet money on it. So he was a cruel man, obviously, with a cruel intention. So one of the puppies he was trying to catch, a very healthy, and he knew that this puppy would turn out to be big and strong. So he tried to catch him. And while running away from him and while trying to escape from him, the puppy bit him. The puppy bit him and that protected him from this man. And then I went there and I found out that this man told me that I tried to catch the puppy and the puppy bit me. So I said, oh, so it is because of you. It is because of your stupidity and cruelty and over smartness. This poor little puppy doesn't come close to us also. So then I told one of my volunteers that this puppy will take at least 2 to 3 months to believe us that we are not bad people and we are going to definitely love him or be a good provider. And that's exactly how it happened. His siblings, the other dogs, came close to us slowly and gradually. When one fine day, I was so shocked. That was such a beautiful day. One fine day, he came to me on his own and he wanted me to pet him. He just came and he just lied down in front of me. And I was like, okay, wow, this is really a beautiful moment, that should be remembered. So even now, we are struggling with some of these little puppies currently also, who probably have been mistreated by humans or, humans have just shooed them away or thrown stones at them. Now imagine of divine feminine also. Like, why am I giving this example to you? Because I want you to feel that compassion for her, for all of you yourselves. Only then you would be able to incorporate it in the twin flame journey. So basically, you have been treated very badly by people. You've been neglected or ignored, or you've been in toxic relationships. Some of you were also victims of domestic violence or some kind of physical assault by a lover. Some of you had a bad marriage, which was really, really draining for you all. Or some of you were just in relationships that were so horrible. One by one, you kept trying, but none of the people really understood you or appreciated you for who you were. So then you become very closed. And obviously inner work helped you to find happiness, to find peace. And when you were really not looking for anyone or anything, that's when the twin flame popped up in your life. Now, when the divine masculine first popped up in your life, you really liked his energy and he really liked your energy. But the feminine wasn't sure because she was hurt before, like that puppy. So she would not come back. And in defense, like she would think that if I'm going to show him my bad mood or, just get aggressive or just be a little tough or a little rough and tough, if he's a bad guy, he will go away from me, he will not bother me. But that doesn't happen. He kind of likes her and it keeps going on, which is what we call the runner-chaser dynamic. So there's a runner and chaser, and the feminine would come close to the masculine, or the masculine will come close, and suddenly something will happen and she would run away. I always tell people, initially it is always the feminine who's not sure. The feminine is always the one who's trying to run away because she's been hurt so much in toxic relationships. Especially if she has just ended a false twin relationship, then it would be a little hard for her. And by that time, there is also so much anger and revenge in her. She wants to get even because of all the horrible things the toxic relationship put her through. The false twin relationships, that's why we call it false twin flame, because it looks very much like a twin flame. There are so many similarities. The only thing is it is extremely toxic. So toxic that after a while she cannot even take it anymore, and very soon she understands that it's probably a psycho that I'm dating. The false twin flames are always on the side of evil. They're very evil by nature. They're very greedy by nature. All of their requirements are connected to bodily needs. They would want a lot of sex all the time. Like every day they would be demanding of certain things. They will not run away so easily, remember, but they will go away because they probably want to have fun with someone else. Or they will drain out all the energy of the feminine. So when there is nothing left in her, she would stop eating, she would be sad, she was not able to get out of the bed. If she has a job or some kind of work, then he would still hover around her for the money. Because these false twins, they want to just take everything that they can. They are pure takers. They have no concept of giving. They're takers. They keep taking, and they drain the other person out. And then they do gaslighting, and they do so many strange things, like it can really make a person go nuts in the head. So after doing inner work, and even during the time when the feminine was in this toxic false twin relationship, it was the source who always helped her out. So maybe she was doing inner work, or maybe she was doing some kind of meditation, or something or the other was there, that the source was saving her from this type of energy, because such energy, they don't want to, kill you or end you. They just want to keep you. They will turn you into a skeleton if you totally surrender to them, So she has come out of it. So obviously she has become very powerful. If you are so courageous to get out of a false twin relationship, that means that you do have some amount of connection with the source. Otherwise it's impossible. And the false twin relationship also teaches her to love herself, not give in too easily to anyone, because earlier she did. So now it's the divine masculine who also acts in certain dicey ways. So she cannot really, or maybe she compares herself with with him, with the toxic divine masculine. There could be some similar things, like, they always happen in the twin flame relationship. So he just doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand. He comes from a very different school of thought. He comes from a very different world altogether. He has a lot of ego. It's not that bad ego, but he has a lot of ego, which also needs to be released. The ego will be released thanks to the feminine. His ego will be released thanks to the feminine, and feminine self-worth will increase thanks to the masculine. This is how they work together as a team. And I've already told you in one of the channelings, which was done via a movie tape, that they have to work together as a team. Even if they think in their heads that we are not together, but the feminine has to do her part of her side of the work. That's it. And she has to have faith that he will do his side of work, So they have to work as a team, and she cannot be concerned about what he's doing or what he's not doing. But to make you guys understand that this whole fear, and she loses the fear of feminine and of masculine also. This is another thing that will happen, that earlier she used to be very shy of him, or she would get butterflies in her stomach whenever he would be around, or his notifications on the phone or his calls would just make her smile from ear to ear, or she would just be like how, in school and college you are when you have a crush on someone, not able to speak openly or not able to. So she's put him on a pedestal also, she's not really treating him or seeing him the way she should see someone, who's supposed to be a life partner. So now she will lose all of that fear, and she will see him as who he is, not like how a crush should be looked at, or someone on pedestal. Like, she's looking at him as if you look at a movie star, a very handsome, good-looking movie star who is so difficult to get. And now that he's giving her all the attention, she's going all gaga about it, like, wow. And then she's getting all butterflies in the stomach and can't really know or do what she wants to do or say or know or understand, So she'll lose all of that. She'll become like, okay, fine, that's it. Because priorities have changed. The priorities are now mission work, priorities are now self-care, and one of the most important thing is that this long-term separation, which some of you don't like, you are going to understand how beautiful this separation phase is. This is the best thing that can happen to you in your whole life, actually. And if you are, if you're a genuine divine feminine who is genuinely going through all of these stages, not just listening to it, you would know that the day you start, finding the connection of unconditional love within, that is the day when everything will change. So when you go into the stage 6, you will have you will not be scared of uncertainty. You will not be scared of what's going to happen, what tomorrow is going to bring, what day after tomorrow is going to bring, what is the masculine thinking, what is he thinking about me right now, what is he doing, where is he, when is he coming back to me, when is he going to heal himself. You don't care about any of those things because your upper chakras, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra, these are the 3 chakras that basically, when they unblock, don't have fear of uncertainty. Okay, so this is one of the things that if you start feeling very fearless and very relaxed about these things, then you are definitely entering the 6th stage. And one more thing that will happen is, which is very important, is that the feminine will have very regular connection and communication with God, with source. Like, it will not be like, okay, so how do you know the connection is regular? Maybe someone treats you badly, or maybe you become too codependent on someone, like too much. And then you feel that those people are just trying to avoid you or ignore you, or they're just treating you very badly. So earlier it would take a long time for you to, heal yourself and come out of it. But now, since you have God, since you are connected with source and you love your own company immensely, and you have so many things to do, that even if people go away from you, or even if they disrespect you or abandon you, you don't sit and think about them at all. In fact, you feel that this is a very dense energy, very heavy energy, very dark energy, and I don't like this energy. It makes me feel horrible. Even if it's for 1 hour or 2 hours, or even if it's probably for a day, depending on whatever the situation is, the feminine is going to snap back, or not snap back, but come back very easily. Yeah, even if she requires to snap back at someone, she'll do it immediately. Like if she wants to say something, so this is what throat chakra does to you. If throat chakra is unblocked, then you will have so many things to say, but you won't be able to say it. So you will always regret. And why are we scared of saying what we want to say to people? And I'm not talking about throwing your mood swings or your tantrums. I'm talking about genuine things. Because the feminine actually represents these things. If she's a person who's just, or based on some assumption or based on some imagination, some old trigger, if she goes ahead and ill-treats somebody, she shows bad behavior towards somebody, even if that person has been good towards her, even if that person is really nice to her, hasn't done anything bad to her, depending on all the other triggers, she just assumes that this person might do something bad to me. So that means the feminine still needs healing. But at the same time, the feminine is also healed if she can see what mistakes she has made. If she's, it's very normal to make mistakes. So she will immediately work on it, and she will immediately release that part of her, that was creating the trigger. Because sometimes in this journey, while trying to attain self-worth, some people fall into the trap of ego also. So she is very careful in watching all of that. If she makes a mistake, she is very fast to heal it. She's very fast to apologize. She's very fast to fix it. And she's very fast to understand that I might have hurt someone, so I need to make efforts. And this is what the masculine will mirror to her. Because she will make the effort for the right people. She's not going to make efforts for the wrong people. This is where we need to understand. And she will not make any effort whatsoever if she realizes that somebody is really toxic and somebody is really treating her bad, playing too many mind games with her, She will not forgive them very easily. But because of the unblocked throat chakra, a healed throat chakra, she would be able to tell them exactly what she feels. And then she will not turn around and waste even one more second or minute on dwelling upon it. So we need to move on. We need to move on very fast. So this is one of the changes that lead to illumination, because she's not scared to express herself, she's not scared to be herself, and she's not scared to speak the truth. Another thing is that the feminine was always attracting narcissistic people because she would please the narcissistic people, right? And to the genuine people, she would say something to them and hurt them instead. Or another thing is that the feminine, like, because I want you to understand this, because these things are going to give you more clarity, and the masculine will also improve. So by working on yourself, you're actually contributing in the twin flame journey. You're going to, without even doing a single thing, without even lifting a finger, you would end up helping the masculine just by focusing on your own self. Okay, so the feminine, instead of relying on all those people who treat her badly, and the feminine, instead of feeling bad on speaking the truth, so there is no remorse in speaking the truth. She is no longer pleasing anybody whatsoever. No more pleasing, no more games, okay? No more games, as in no more accepting games from others. She is never the one who plays games. So what will happen is that she will simply talk to God. If she's hurt, if she's upset, if she's lonely, if someone has attacked her or someone has made her feel bad, because there are so many cases where you cannot go back and fight out with those people. You know that if I go and fight with these people, or if I go and argue with these people, I am only going to stoop low. I am only going to feel bad. So just the way they have ignored me or they have treated me horribly through my body language, through my behavior, and I would rather ignore them and wait for the time when they change, and wait for the time when they make true efforts to pacify me, because she's the one who needs to be pacified, not the masculine or not other people. You know, other people have treated her very badly so many times without even her doing anything wrong to them. So this has been happening in her life for such a long time, and now after doing inner work, after the stage 5, I would say that towards the end of stage 5, which is surrender, she's going to surrender to God. God will become her source and nobody else. So that way she will have complete faith and a lot of trust. And when you have faith in source, you have trust, and you don't rely on other people. Even if you are having a bad day, even if you're having some kind of a crunch, you know that this is also happening because source is teaching me something. You won't think about it as such. Okay, so 6th stage is basically death of ego, and this is the time when God force energy takes over the body. The attachment you have with the identity, the bodily identity, is over. And I'm saying this for the feminine, because once the feminine goes through this God force energy taking over the body, on the opposite side, on the divine masculine side, the ego will die. That is how it happens always. Then the feminine will also awaken her divinity. When she awakens her divinity, complete awakening, then on the other side, the masculine will go through a spiritual awakening. A complete spiritual awakening. Obviously, they have already been going through spiritual awakening, because Kundalini rising, the whole process, it doesn't happen in just one day. It's a gradual process. So it needs to be completed, you know. So it will only complete when feminine will awaken divinity. And if she is still, you know, doing all those things like pleasing narcissistic parents, pleasing narcissistic mothers, or hanging out with them because she's so codependent on them, she feels that I cannot do without them, or maybe she's doing it because she's scared of something, or hundreds of reasons. Okay, I mean to say there are hundreds of reasons, and any reason can play out. Now, one of the most important thing that happens in illumination stages, which you would know by experience, if by chance you feel that this has not yet happened to you, then also you must listen to all these channelings very carefully and with a lot of openness, because it will happen in future, if not now. And then when it will happen in future, then you will realize that yes, this was told to me, this was discussed to me, you know, so I might be doing something right. And one of those things that will shift everything for you is that the divine feminine will start radiating true love, unconditional love, because this stage is all about that. This stage is going through experiencing unconditional love, after surrender. Like, so it would be like overlapping, surrender, more surrender, and then this feeling, and you surrender more and you reach somewhere, you find something, and you feel so good about it, you feel so grateful about it, and the way you handle people, you feel so happy, because it's not like you're doing it all by yourself. You know that source is helping you, and you also know that nothing can happen without grace, and nothing can happen without letting go of false attitude. So this is the stage where the feminine is going to stop seeking romantic love. She will have no interest, zero interest in romantic love. Honestly, the way you talk, the way you ask questions, it's very easy to figure out if you're still stuck in romantic love or not. But stage 6, the illumination stage, is designed like that you will not feel like doing any of the things that societal way of love is practiced. And the masculine, being the mirror, he will feel all of this. He will feel the love, the true love, because he's also been seeking for true love. Not now, since childhood, since the day he was born. He was given all the love. He was smothered with love, or he was privileged person, or he was, because whenever he asked for something, whenever he looked for something, he would get a materialistic object, or he would get some kind of a physical object, a physical love, or he would be shown, like if he says, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm not feeling happy about something. I really want to, I really want to do this. I really want to do that. They will say, oh, instead of sitting and talking to him, they will like, oh, let's just go for a vacation to Switzerland, or to some other land. Maybe let's go here, let's go there. And it's all about going for a vacation. Nobody is talking to him. Nobody is hearing him out, but they are smothering him with things. And he is also like, okay, maybe this is how it is done then, And he feels like after going to some place on vacation, he takes a break and something, he feels like there's a change in the pattern, or there's some monotony has been broken. But that problem that he had, or that fear that he had, that stays where it was. Okay? So this is also how a person feels when they get rejected, because their idea was not even given so much importance. Like if a masculine would say that, I feel this way about a person and I'm not happy, parents would be like, sure, you are right, you're absolutely right. He could be wrong. They could have explained him, or they could have sat down with him because the way you're, like in case of divine feminine also, when he misses her, or when he talks about her to them, or when he tells them that, she did this to me and I got hurt, they would be like, oh, then you should just not talk to this girl. She's not the one for you. And obviously, they don't know any better at that time about their love, their intensity. When he doesn't know about their intensity, how can they know about the intensity? So after the stage 6, he also makes a clear effort to all the people who had made those decisions in his life that no, I am very much sure of what I want and how I want to do things. There is a certain amount of confidence that he feels in terms of his love for the divine feminine. He feels that now he is not scared of being in love with her, and he's absolutely clear and happy, and he will go to whatever lengths or whatever it requires for him to make her believe that he's not going to be one of those bad humans that were hitting the puppy. So imagine divine feminine is this cute little puppy, okay, and the masculine is this very loving and kind human, but the feminine doesn't know. I mean, it's just an example, okay? Just see it like an example. The feminine doesn't know. It's unconditional. It's also an example of unconditional love, So feminine or the puppy doesn't know if this person is going to hurt me or not. So that person now has to make a daily effort. That's why I said sometimes it can take 2 months also. Like all the other puppies would come, but the one who has been abused the most, or the one who's scared the most, would be the last one to come close to you. Once he sees or she sees that all of my siblings are going to play with this person, all of my siblings are happy, even my mother trusts this person, they are giving me food every day, and they're always around. One fine day, the puppy will release all the fear and inhibition and want to go and play in the lap of that human, So this is how the masculine has to treat her now. He has to understand that she has a difficult past. He has to understand that she's not going to trust me so easily. I cannot treat her so badly again and again. And now especially because I left her, I also did what all the other men did to her. I also treated her equally horribly. I just left her hanging somewhere. So she was hurt. She must have cried so much. She must have missed me so much. So now she's not going to trust me just like that. I have to make those efforts to make her believe that I'm not looking for her body, or I'm not looking for her money, or I don't want to turn her into a slave like all the narcissistic people wanted to do to her, and probably did that also. So he has to make the effort, and he would be willing to make that effort. He will not let ego come in between. Earlier also he wanted to make that effort, but his ego was too big, and ego identity was too big that the soul could not perform fully. So these two things are connected to each other. So on this note, I would be pausing this channeling session over here, and I will see you soon in another part of it, which would be the final part. Thank you so much for putting in all your effort as well. Thank you so much for even, if you're able to resonate with this, if you're able to even understand it, then that means you really are working in the area of developing unconditional love and source integration. And that makes your effort really beautiful as well. You have a lot of courage. You're not scared of being by yourself. So I will catch you soon. One love and peace out.